Hello, everyone. Welcome to Small Talk. Well, with me today is Belinda Rhodes. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Belinda has a very, very important message to share, I believe. First of all, you were in a major accident, right?
Yes, many years ago in 1984, um, I was trying to get to Winnipeg Folk Festival,
Wait a
and
minute, where were you?
I was in Winnipeg.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and I was young and I was partying, and it was like 3 days later, we all wanted to go to Winnipeg Folk Festival, and we didn't make it.
You were with a group of people?
I was with some friends, yes.
Were you driving?
I was driving, and my learner's license just expired.
Mhm.
Yes, and yeah, and thank God nothing has happened to me except I was in the hospital for 11 months.
Okay, so you had a car accident,
Yeah,
obviously.
yes.
Did you hit another vehicle?
I hit a bridge.
Oh, you hit a bridge, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you were in the hospital. What about the other people?
Well, the one fella had passed away. Yeah, there was my friend, I don't know if I should mention her name, but and she came out of it with bumps and scratches, a little shaken up. And then the girl in the back, or no, she was in the back. The other girl got 58 stitches across her face. The other fella broke his ribs, and the passenger had passed away, had died.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you ended up in the hospital for 11 months.
11 months.
So
yeah.
what were your injuries?
A head injury. I woke up, I thought my name was Sandy, and I thought I got hit by a car, and they had to sit me down and tell me what was going on. And yeah, and spent 11 months there, and I had to learn how to walk and think and therapy and all that. And I in 11 months, and then I was out, and
Well, how old were you, by the way?
I think I spent my 20th birthday in the hospital.
Okay, so how did imagine your family found out at some point?
Well, my brother Pierre he was there a lot. I heard he was a very big support.
Okay,
My stepmother at the time, she's passed away from cancer, bless her soul. Um, she sat me up and put makeup on me and fixed me up and did the best she can. My dad was there quite often. Yeah. And yeah,
okay, so you're in there, you were in a coma,
yeah.
and you came out of the coma, didn't know who you were, I had all of these issues, couldn't talk, couldn't walk, whatever. Okay, so then once you were out of the hospital, where did you go?
I went, there was a, oh boy, there was an apartment for rent, and it was like other people lived in it,
Yeah,
and the door was left open, and somebody came in and raped me. And
oh my gosh. How soon after getting out of the hospital?
oh, it was not that, I can't even remember.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a couple of months maybe. And then my dad, my brother, my other brother, Royal, he shipped me to Vancouver. My dad moved to Vancouver, and I moved there. And then I lived with my dad and his wife for a while, and then oh boy, I've had lots of things happen in my life. And there was he was managing an apartment building, and there was a couple of guys that lived one story up and one over, and so supposedly I heard that somebody got shot and thrown in one of those big garbage cans. And then my dad says, "You're out of here," and talked to my sister in Sardis, and I moved in with her, and yeah.
Well, now, during this time, you're not quite fully recovered, though, are you?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, you were.
well, not fully, not fully. I was still stumbling on my feet,
Right.
And, yeah,
So in some ways it was an easy target in a way, right? Because you didn't have the normal defenses that you would maybe normally have
right, yeah,
without the brain injury, right? Yeah, okay.
yeah.
So the whole accident happened because of drinking and driving.
Drinking and driving and yeah.
Yeah. So how do you get across to people who, especially young people? No, well, not all, I shouldn't say that. I don't know what the
Anybody that,
statistics,
yeah,
I was just gonna say, I don't know what the statistics are. Because a lot of times people think they're fine. They've had a few drinks, but they think they're fine,
right,
right?
yeah,
But you're not, but your brain is telling you you're fine because now you've altered it with the
right,
alcohol.
right, yes, and yeah, and I don't know, I don't know why I drove. Maybe because I'm not sure. I was young and
Yeah.
I want to go to this party and we want to have fun
Sure.
and it was outside of Winnipeg and yeah, and we went and got into an accident and
An unfortunate, horrible accident. Okay, so now you're at your sister's, right?
hmm.
And how did it go from there?
Well, my sister was not home most of the time and it was fine for about I'm not even sure how many 2015 I moved there.
Okay,
And then she had there was a lot of rain here and she had like a flood in her house
right?
and I was living in the basement
Um,
and it flooded the
right,
house, it flooded
right.
and it cost a lot of money, that's a
Mm,
very big responsibility to own a house.
yeah,
But, she needed to get the roof done and lots of things. She comes back. She used to come back and do her yard, a beautiful house. And the flood came and I don't think she meant it, but she blamed it on me. She said, it's all your fault. You gotta, get out.
mm,
And I says, yeah, Vicky, I think I will. I'm going. And then, yeah, and then I moved all my stuff out because the Red Cross had put me into the hotel, what's it called?
I don't remember. There's a
Yeah,
which
but
hotel? Well, one of the
Red
local.
Cross, yeah, put me in the Hilton over
Oh, the Holiday Inn.
the
We
Hilton,
don't have a Hilton in Chile. You must mean the Holiday Inn.
not Holiday Inn. It's over,
Anyway.
yeah, but it was nice. It was like queen size bed, internet TV, sauna, complimentary breakfast. Yeah, swimming pool, everything, eh? And then they did that for a month, and then they said they're not doing it no more here in Chilliwack.
Okay.
So where would you like to go?
And what were your options?
I said Kamloops, and I shouldn't have. I should have said 100 Mile House. That's where my grandchildren are.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and I said Kamloops, and I went there, and they put me in a hotel that was not finished yet. They were working on it.
Right.
So I stayed there for a month. I visited my friend Sandy and it was fine. And then while I was staying in the hotel, both places, I was talking with I knew this woman named Edie Semler and she was elderly. She was about 85 at the time. No, no, she was 91 when she passed away. So it was 3.5 years I was with her.
Okay.
And I, helped her with get her tea or coffee she liked in the morning and turn on her TV and all kind, and
Wait a minute.
I helped
Okay, you
out.
missed some steps there. So you went to stay at her place?
Yeah, she was phoning me and telling me, I don't know why you're staying in a hotel. Come and stay with, come here.
How did you know her?
I met her on the bus. And yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, I would go around town with her, like from
Okay.
Sardis to Chilliwack.
Right.
We went out to Hope one time on the bus,
Oh, okay.
yeah, just to keep her company
Sure.
or,
Sure. She was happy to have company.
yes.
Yeah.
And then she was phoning me while I was staying in the hotel and she was saying, come here and stay for a little bit.
Mhm.
Not forever, she said. And yeah, and I ended up staying there for 3.5 years. I had two other places I could have moved while I was living with her, but she said, please don't go.
Yeah,
I,
yeah. She was happy to have you there.
but then she'd be mean to me.
Oh.
Yeah, that. But she passed away. She had a sm a s- slow stroke, a cold stroke. The paramedic told me,
Okay.
and she had a cold
I've
stroke.
never heard that term, but okay.
Yeah, and they took her to the hospital. I went to visit her, and then it was not long after she did pass away.
Right.
So
And then now you know, now you're homeless,
homeless, yes.
right?
And then I went back to Kamloops. And I stayed with my girlfriend Sandy for about 3 weeks. And then I stayed in Badenby for a month. And there was snow up there, and I had to go and plug down the hill with a toboggan, get firewood, and bring it back up two or three times a day.
Right?
And it wasn't, there was no running water. We had to get water. Is she, so it wasn't.
It's a tough life.
I couldn't do it. I
Yeah.
couldn't, and then I had to come back for medical reasons to
Yeah.
Chilliwack, and I went to the Salvation Army, and I've been there since February 21st,
Wow.
and here I am.
Wow.
Yes.
So how do you survive financially? Do you get money from the government?
PWD,
What is that?
a person with disability
Oh, okay.
from the government.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not a huge amount, right?
No.
Like it's hard to have, because with the rents so insane,
Yes.
like I doubt you'd be able to.
It's very, very difficult. I have a car, and I don't want to give it up.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's I'll sleep in it if I have to, but I don't. My granddaughter wants me to come back.
Okay, tell me, wait a minute now. Somewhere before or after the accident, you got married and had children?
No, never been married.
Okay, but you had children?
I had a daughter before the accident.
Oh, before the accident.
Way before, and she was with my mother. I was young.
Yeah,
I was young, and my brother Ed had asked me, why don't you ask Mom to take Jennifer on, my daughter, for a year or so.
Yeah, because you're
And
too young
then,
to take care of
yeah,
her, right?
then I got into a car accident, and
Okay.
then it went on, and my daughter, she like stayed with my stepsister in Gibson's and Calgary, and with my sister and my other little sister. Yeah, and she was tossed around a lot, and
Right.
yeah, and she has, I don't know if I should say it, an addiction,
Look,
but
well,
it's,
here's what happens. I hear you. When, like, I grew up in an abusive home, and I have no problem telling people that, right? Sexually abusive, physically abusive. You carry that trauma forward.
yeah,
So you were a young person. You had a child. You were too young. You had an accident when you were very young. So all of that trauma,
yeah,
it's just moved forward. Your daughter grew up in trauma. So how do you deal with trauma?
yeah,
Some people go different routes, right? So it happens.
yeah,
It happens. People in my family have been into drugs and very badly, and so I understand.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
But it's, and then I also have 4 grandchildren.
right.
Yeah.
So now, but how's your relationship with your daughter now?
Don't have one.
Oh, that's
Don't
unfortunate.
have
Yeah,
one,
really
no.
is unfortunate.
It's she went to the hospital, and I don't know, for some reason I couldn't find out what was going on. I
Right.
did a little bit from a nurse, but for some reason they were not letting me know anything
Okay.
because I wasn't the next of kin.
Oh.
And I think her friend put a stop to me. Like, I was gonna go there, but I don't have nowhere to stay, don't,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like she was in a coma, and then they had to reduce the coma, and then what is it, 2 or 3 days after she came out of the coma, she left. She went back to,
Her life.
yeah.
Yeah. What about her children? Are you close with her children?
It was sort of when I can talk to them. The oldest granddaughter doesn't have a phone,
Right,
so I see her on Facebook sometimes,
right.
talk to her on Facebook. And then my other granddaughter, it's her birthday, and I just wished her happy birthday and tell her
Okay.
I'm coming, I'm driving up there on Wednesday,
Yeah.
So, and my Nicole wanted said that you come stay on my couch.
Oh, that's cute.
I know, but
I just want to tell people about, like you're fortunate to be able to stay at the Salvation Army. However, like all of these places, you can't stay during the day. It's only basically a place to stay overnight. You can get shower there. Do they get,
it's different at the Salvation Army.
but then you have to
Okay.
get out, right?
Well, they ask you to leave 2 hours before lunch. And like lunch is at 12, and they ask you to leave from 11:30 until 1:30.
Okay.
And then dinner time, they ask you to leave at 4:30. Dinner's at 5, and you're allowed back in at 6:30.
So you're
So
not
they
allowed to
can-
eat there. So,
You eat there, well, look at me.
okay, well, that's what I'm not understanding. Like, where do you go to if they're sending you out at lunchtime?
Well, they have a section for the women's shelter, and then they have a section for the men's.
Right.
And then they have another building, two other buildings, for donations.
Okay, yeah,
and
yes.
And then they have a kitchen area
Okay.
where they, serve the meals.
Right.
and-
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So out of
yeah.
your room, but you can go and eat.
Yeah,
There,
go out
yeah.
to another building to eat.
Okay, there.
Yeah.
Now, before we started taping, you mentioned something that saved your life, basically, that you wanted to speak about.
Okay, it was at the wellness company. That I've been shopping since 1997,
Mhm.
every month faithfully. I tried these supplement the illegal fructose complex is what they're called, but it's illegal for short, and they just do wonders for your body. They're I wish I would have, wrote everything down what I need to say, but
Oh, what's the name? Maybe I can look it up. What's the name of the company? And then we can find out a little bit more.
it's a Melaleuca. MEL.
I'm just gonna say, I can't spell people. Okay,
That's
hold
okay.
on, yeah. MEL,
AL.
AL,
EU.
oh, Melaleuca.
Melaleuca. There's the products. The
Okay,
Renew lotion right there, the best. There was one person in the company, and her son had a cracked face, couldn't smile, couldn't laugh with his kids. And the girl was trying to find the lotion. She
okay,
found that, and the kid is normal now.
okay.
It's great.
And then they have a cleanser.
There's like 400 plus products.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, this cellular botanical disinfectant.
Yes,
So germs, viruses, and bacteria. And this is eco friendly. Yeah, it's the best in the world.
So is
These
this a
products
cleaning?
are yes.
yeah, that's a cleaning product.
Yes, they have a lot of cleaning products. They have, like I said, 450 plus products.
Right, okay.
You just become a member.
Mm-hmm,
You order the products.
right.
They're delivered right to your door.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. I have never heard of them until you mentioned it.
Yeah, not too
you
many
know.
people have.
No, what do you think that is? That's interesting because
It's word of mouth business. It's totally word of mouth.
right
You tell
because
your friends and your family.
what it's their website says it's recognized the USA's today's most trusted brands
Yes.
since as of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it's saying
The
here.
most trusted brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything. They have tooth polish. They have,
Okay. Everything you need basically for your body
shampoo,
and
you name it.
right. Oh, wow. Okay. But you have to be a member. To be a member, is there a cost to being a member?
No, you would just it's $19 a year.
Okay.
That's a very good, I think,
Yeah.
and Yeah, and then you just
But how did it save your life? You mentioned that it actually,
because when I started in 1997, I started very small with they had Vitality Pack, the two bottles you take in the morning and then in the evening after dinner. Vitality Pack and Provex Plus, it's called. Provex Plus opens brain barriers,
okay?
cleans your blood, protects you against 70 to 80 diseases. Yeah, this stuff is amazing, and and I think that most people should try it. If you try it, they give you a 90-day trial. If it doesn't work, you get your money back.
Oh, well, that's very good. There's nothing to lose then. To
No,
try it,
there's
right?
nothing to lose,
Yeah, very good.
you know.
So now, okay, so let's get back to where you are now. No, you're still at the Salvation Army. Do you have any plans to get out of there?
Well, the thing is, my granddaughter says, Grandma, you come and stay on my couch.
And where does she live in
She
Chilliwack?
lives in 100 Mile House.
Okay.
Yes. I'm just a little weary about going back there. I lived there for many years.
Right.
And yeah,
What's the hesitation?
pardon me,
Why are you hesitant to go?
to go there. Chilliwack's it's got so much. Like
Yeah.
I've had 20 surgeries on my eyes.
Whoa.
Yes, on my eyeballs.
Whoa.
Then I had to lift my eye lift.
Yeah.
They give me that.
Yeah.
They said I need one more because when I got into that accident, one eye looked up, one eye looked down.
Okay.
So they have to put them
Adjust
together,
them, yeah.
But they can't do it all at once. They
Yeah.
have to.
It's a gradual process, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then my teeth, I wear hearing aids because I have inner hearing is wrong or
Right.
yeah.
Got messed up, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously under my house, it doesn't have the facilities, whatever it is you need for that, right?
Yeah, and now I think I have it, except for maybe one more surgery and my cataracts.
Right.
And my cataracts my next appointment is in December.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, I've had that. I've had my cataracts done. That's not a big deal, but
yeah. Well, I just want to get it done.
yeah, for sure.
You
Yeah,
know.
I don't blame you for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you also mentioned to me one day that there's possibility to go live it with your brother. Didn't you tell me
Well,
that?
Drumheller, yes, and I'm not sure because right now, his ex-girlfriend, they're not living together, but she had a stroke. So
Oh,
he said to
okay.
put it on hold.
Yeah, because he's concentrating on, even though they're exes,
Of course, yeah,
Yeah.
they're still, you know.
They care about each other. So yeah, okay, okay. So it's almost like you're in limbo in a way, right? You
Yes,
know?
I am. I've been yesterday and the day before. Well, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Where am I gonna go?
Yes. Yeah.
So I would just go over and play cards with my friend
that'd be-
Robin, and
Yeah.
all the time I go and play um crib,
Right.
and then another card game that he's shown me, and
And of course, Thursdays you have the wonderful
yes,
brain injury support group,
yes,
right?
yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Because
Oh, yeah, they're Tuesdays as well?
yeah,
Oh, I
they
didn't know
have
that.
they
Okay. Or
have
maybe I did and I forgot.
I think is the information, yeah, they give on, is it Tuesday mornings? Esther Tremblay does information on the brain, and she helps out a lot, like if, she tried to find a place for me to live, and a long time ago she found one, but it went really quick.
Right.
And I think a couple of them. But nowadays it is so difficult to find a place to live.
Yeah.
And it's scary,
Yeah.
I mean, I run into so many people that are homeless and
So
staying at the Salvation Army, and
yeah, so ideally, one of the ideal things would be if you could find like another situation where you had that elderly woman that you were there, you could stay at her place, take her for appointments because you drive, you've got your license, take care of her, like for
Give
her
her
appointments
meals,
and exactly. So if you
and
could,
wash her clothes.
yeah, so if you
clean her
could find
home.
something like that, that would be ideal for you,
Yes,
right?
yes, it would.
Even though
Yes.
those jobs don't usually last, but you can do them for a number of years, you know, I mean,
Mhm.
and last mean, you know, because my sister used to do in-home care,
Right,
not as a person with credentials or anything, but just got hired by family members to do that sort of thing. And of course,
right,
that person would, the elderly person would eventually pass on, and so my sister would find another location.
right.
You
I
know,
used to volunteer for going to women, elderly's homes and clean their home
right,
and a few places, eh? They didn't
so,
last long, but,
right.
and, yeah, and I've taken care of Edie for almost 4 years, 3.5 years anyway.
So I'm just gonna talk to the audience. So if you know of somebody who needs, maybe you're a family member who has an elderly parent that you'd like to, somebody to take care of them, you know, the win-win is that you'd be able to live there, take
Yeah.
care of that person, take them for any kind of appointment they need, or do their shopping for them, whatever. So you're living, they don't have to pay you, because now you can live there for free,
Right,
right? And you're doing a service for
right,
that person, so
For
that
that.
could be a win-win.
right.
So it would be a really ideal situation
Yes.
for you. So if you know anybody who's looking for someone, and you can give them credentials, you can give them, you know, if they need to ask people about you,
References and,
yeah,
yeah,
you know, and
and,
you can always contact the Chilliwack, the Fraser Valley, part of the Fraser Valley support, brain injury support group. That's where she goes twice a week. So you can always ask there for some, you know, reference, whatever, you know, so that would be a really good idea, right?
Yes, it
If you
would.
could get something like that.
Yes, it would, that would be wonderful if I
Yeah.
could find some, an elderly that I, wants, well, mainly company because a lot of them are very lonely.
Yeah, of course.
And clean their home, do their laundry, make their meals.
Yeah.
And, just be a little bit of support.
Right. And just so you know, she doesn't drink anymore. It's been years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah, a
Right?
long time ago I drank. I don't drink anymore. I don't do drugs. I don't, yeah,
You're clean and sober. That's
right.
as simple as that.
Yeah.
Although it was a tragic way to come about doing it, but at least, you know,
I'm not, yeah.
you're not there anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be ideal. So yeah, get the word out, people. Hopefully, you know, people will pay attention to this interview and see if anybody can come up with some solutions, you know, that would be really good, right?
Yeah, that would be wonderful if that,
Yeah. You can
just
always
help them.
contact me, and I could certainly pass a message on to Belinda. So in the meantime, this is Belinda Rhodes, Rhodes. I thought she said Rose the first time I heard your name.
Rhodes, yes, it's RH.
Yeah, so there's always ways that, you know, you can do a criminal check if people wanted it, and all of these
references.
Yes, so
Yes.
you know, it would be really good, really good.
Yeah,
So
yes.
anyway, I think we're finished with the
Okay,
interview. So thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're very brave, you know, to come on and talk about all these things. It's not easy for everybody.
It's
to
like
do.
this is what's happened with me.
I agree.
And
Yeah, it's like,
I feel I'm a kind person. I try to help others. And yes, and I'm glad to be here.
That's nice. Yeah, good. And
Yeah.
thank you everybody for watching the show. I hope you continue to do so. Please share this video because that would help a lot. Okay, so 2 people would be a win for that.
Yeah.
Not only Belinda, but somebody else who might need some care. All right. Thanks, everybody. Take care and peace out.
Yes. Have a great day.